WOT Blitz ISU 152. This is a great tank. There's a lot of good things about it, which have to do with the gun. And it is a Tier 7 Russian tank. The gun can do amazing penetration and amazing damage. Make sure you pick the right gun. You got two choices. The armor, nothing special. And, the speed doesn't matter too much because you're going to spend a lot of your time not moving around, especially because you've got a high penetration gun. You don't have to worry so much. The enemy's going to be afraid of you. In this case, we're going to look at the tech tree. Where is the tech tree? That's not it, is it? I'll find it in a moment. Here it is. Okay, so you've got the base gun. This is one of the few cases where the base gun has some really good things about it. If you like to fire the premium rounds, you've got 250 penetration with high explosive anti-tank rounds. That is really, really good with 545 damage, and you've got an option for 640 damage. So if you want the higher damage or the high explosive rounds, if you're playing against lower tier tanks, you're going to use the regular rounds, you're going to use the high explosive rounds, do lots of damage. If you're playing against higher tier tanks, you want to use the premium rounds, you're going to do less damage. But the 250 penetration is really good. Compare it to this gun, 237 penetration. Not that much of a difference. It's not that much. The damage goes down considerably, the load time, etc. So we're going to look at the regular penetration. We got 135, 175, and 195. If you plan on firing regular rounds, you're probably going to want this higher tier gun. The damage is going to be less, but it's going to be cheaper to fire your ammunition. If you're going to be firing gold rounds, you're probably going to want the lower tier gun. And we're going to look at the aiming time. The aiming time is better with the 122 millimeter gun, which is common. It's common that you have a slower aim time with guns that do the most damage. In terms of the engine, it's really not going to matter much. The average speed goes up to 21. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. And the hull turn rate goes up a little bit. You're going to need the hull if you're going to need to carry a lot of weight. And the better engine is always better. What can be a small increase in engine power can make a big difference driving the vehicle around. How quickly it accelerates, for example. So it's an excellent tank. I've played it a lot in the PC version. And these lines of tanks, if you get the right gun on it, does high penetration and a lot of damage, you can have really good games. And the way people get good games is by playing the good tanks with the good guns. It's the way it is. So I don't recommend the intermediary gun. Try to get the 8 or the 6. And what the stats say play with the 6. That's what it says. So there's going to be disadvantages. Obviously, a high damage gun, if the enemy has low hit points, it's a waste. So that's one of the things you have to measure. Like, it's going to be more important at the beginning of the game when everyone has all their hit points. More towards the end of the game when people have fewer hit points, this other gun will be more effective. The tank line that it goes through is really good. The Russian tank destroyers, I think they're fun to play. Obviously, there's people that don't like them. I enjoyed playing them on the PC version. And the Object 268 was a great tank at one time. There's always new tanks being added in the game. I had a lot of fun playing that tank. Okay, if you got any questions or comments, please post below. And don't forget to check out my forum, cheapbooks.com. The forum is cheapbooks.cc. Go to the video game section and look for World of Tanks.